Hello. Welcome, everyone. It's wonderful to have you here today. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat or live streaming on our social media channels. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. In today's session, we'll be kicking off our remote Colombia expedition with an attunement of Catedral de Sal, the Salt Cathedral, an underground cathedral carved into a salt mine, holding ancient energies within the earth. This activation will prepare us to step into the greater Colombia Remote Expedition with clarity and alignment. The full Colombia Remote Expedition will continue May 26th, and we're excited to gather with you for this work. And to everyone who signed up for the Colombia Remote Expedition already, we look forward to this journey with you, and thank you for putting your energy into the field. It truly makes a difference. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll hand you over to Asil. Bon voyage.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Greetings to you wherever you are in the world. It is a pleasure to come together as Earth Keepers. This Earth Keepers work started when the guides told us to go to sacred sites of this earth and do energetic work, energetic adjustments at these specific nodal points around the world. And it led me and many within our community, within our team, to some of the most incredible places that humanity has revered over its history, but some sites still being revered, and some sites being sites of collective trauma. And we've been to these places to meditate, to connect to the energetics of these places, and also to learn about these places, the cultures, the ancient wisdom, the ancient civilizations, the mystery, the folklore, the legends of these places, the people that have lived, stewarded these places, the protectors, and places of worship, which has led us to learn about the lineages that have been stewarding and have been part of these nodal points at these specific sites around the world. And it's been truly one of the greatest adventures of my life. And I think I'm not exaggerating when I say that it has also been for some of our team and our community. The work expanded further as the guide suggested that more and more individuals around the world doing this in a synchronized, doing this in a connected way as Earth Keepers. So we've developed the Earth Keepers pathway to train, to understand how we connect to the energetic field of a place. Now, in the beginning of our journey, we learned to connect to our own energy first. We learn what it feels like to be within our own energy, within our own skin, our own home, our own place. And we learn this by silence and presence, which then leads to alignment. And we can feel what it feels like to be in alignment. And we learn to understand that we are made of not just this matter that we have as body, or this mind that constantly has opinions about everything, or this heart that constantly feels what we are experiencing. We are an energy body first and foremost. It's almost that this matter, this body, is a projection of that energy into physical existence. we learn that this energy body is in relation to other energy bodies, meaning other humans. But even more importantly, the energy body of the earth, the planet itself, is a conscious being that has an incredibly vast and powerful energy body. Energy moves through the earth and provides for everything that lives on the earth. And this energy moves just the way energy moves through our body, through meridian or energy lines. The earth itself has these energy lines and these meridians as well. In the intersection of these energy lines are nodal points, where the energy is even stronger, even more potent, even more palpable than anywhere else. And humanity has recognized this completely through independent discovery across the planet, independent cultures throughout history. And wherever humanity discovered such a nodal point, they decided to revere it or steward it in a certain way. Some of them made sacred sites to go to worship at these places, to connect to spirit or spirit beings, to their gods as they have defined, as they have connected. Some of them have made these places only accessible to the priests and to royalties. Some of civilizations have kept these sites secret so that the sacred aspect, the purity of these sacred sites would remain. Humanity has understood that these sacred sites play an important role, not just for them in the immediate proximity of where they lived and for their well being. They recognized they would heal faster at these places. They would find deeper states of peace and clarity at these sacred sites. They would find they could connect to spirit and receive guidance and direction at these sacred sites with greater ease. And then some civilizations, some lineages have recognized that these sacred sites are not just relevant in the places where they live, but they're relevant as a network across the planet. A network that connects, a network that synchronizes, a network that supports all of the sacred sites that are in connection to each other, creating a field that holds a certain frequency across the planet. Now, some of you may be familiar with the word field, energetic field. Some of you may not be. One of my favorite metaphors for this is when you're entering a social gathering with humans, there is a certain energy that this gathering holds. And you can feel that energy the moment you enter that space. And if it's a gathering held in high frequency, the different emotional states we hold, but the also energetic spiritual states we hold, if it's a high frequency, you can feel it. Immediately, it will also lift us up to meet the frequency of that place. And some gatherings will have a lower frequency, a lower energy, and we can also feel that. It's because our energetic field impacts the field around us. And if many people come together, that energetic field is impacted by what everyone brings. That's the energetic field that humans can create. Now, sacred sites in themselves hold a frequency as well. And depending how and what we feed and fuel these sacred sites with, this frequency can shift and change. The earth remembers, sacred sites remember the frequency that was held at these places. Now, it's unfortunately also the way with conflict. When there is conflict, when there is war, when there is destruction, certain places on the earth remember that kind of energy, that kind of frequency. There is a density when we go to sacred sites of trauma, of collective trauma. When we come together as earth keepers, when we come into meditation, be it in person, of course, we love the in person expeditions, but also when we come together remotely in meditation, synchronizing, entering into a meditative state, entering into alignment, and together focusing our energy onto a specific place on this planet, we connect to the sacred site as a group field and connect to the field of the sacred site, and the energy transforms of the sacred site. It increases in frequency, and in this collaboration between our energies that we bring to the sacred site and the energy that is present, we experience in this connection our own elevation, but also the elevation of the site itself. Sometimes the site already carries an incredible high frequency, so we are uplifted naturally. Sometimes the site carries a lower frequency or lower energy, and the energy that we bring as a group uplifts the site into a certain state of presence, of vibration. This work has led us to a lot of places, a lot of countries around the world. And some places we have been able to go to in person and do this work directly at these sacred sites. Some places we go to remotely. And the remote expeditions are, in my perspective, equally as important as the in person expeditions. We learn something different, a different way of navigating, no matter where we are, the places around the world and the impact that these places have in our lives. The impact that these places have in the lives of everyone on this planet. There is an effect that happens that when we connect to these sacred sites and elevate the frequency of these sacred sites, that naturally translates to the sites neighboring and naturally translates to all of the sites around the world. And the field that we create on this earth is what leads to how we feel and how we operate on this planet. It truly affects our consciousness. It truly affects our well-being. So the sacred sites, as they have played an important role throughout humanity and throughout history, will continue to play that role to find deeper alignment and peace within ourselves and affect and assist all of the individuals in the fields of these sacred sites to reach these states as well. We have never been to Colombia. I have been personally visiting, but I've not truly been on an expedition in Colombia. So this is also new for me. This upcoming Colombia expedition is going to be a first, experiencing some of these really powerful and beautiful sacred sites. And of course, every ounce in my being would love to be there in person, yet we have to choose which countries we want to go to, and we have the energy and resources to prepare expeditions in person for. This Colombia expedition will be remotely done, but maybe some individuals within our community will be in Colombia during that time and will be our bridges there in person. For us to get the party started, so to say, we're going to be going to this very special place in Colombia. Colombia in general has very powerful sacred sites as indigenous to different regions of Colombia, specifically the Kogi of the Sierra Nevadas, have recognized that these sacred sites create a field, create a network in that region. And they've protected these sacred sites. They've done rituals and offerings at these sacred sites to keep the energy pure and aligned, so that the whole area would hold a certain frequency within which they would operate. They probably recognized that their prayers would be stronger and heard, not just for themselves, but for all of humanity. And Linea Negra was the name that they've given this black line of different sacred sites in that region of the Sierra Nevadas. This is just one example of the power that exists within Colombia, the beauty that is across that country. Today, we will be going to a special place. It is a church that has been built into a salt mine, into a mountain. And the story goes that within the ancient indigenous, they used to have access to this salt, which was more precious than gold at that time. So they would trade the salt they would get from this mountain against all the things that they would need. And it was significantly more valuable for them, or in this particular trade, than gold itself. And over time, of course, Western civilization also saw the power and the worth and the value of the salt, and it became a salt mine that operated. With the integration of the Christian belief and the lineage, the Roman Catholic belief system was more pervasive across Colombia, and these miners that would work in these salt mines. And they would place images and they would place statues of saints in the mines as a sense of protection, because it was a dangerous and difficult job to do. Over time, it was recognized maybe a chapel, maybe a church within the salt mines could be a valuable addition. And this church became an attraction, not just for the miners, even after the mine completed its function, its operations, the church remained. And many people have been pilgriming to this underground church in the salt mines. And it's an interesting experience to go to any church, to go to any site of religious worship. I've been to more churches than I can count, and I have to say that every one is different in terms of the energy it holds. Some can hold a very high frequency, some can hold what I would consider as like the standard frequency. Some can hold more of a dense frequency, depending on what has been occurring at this in this area or in this particular church. So it's always a unique experience, never the same. And we entered this type of work and this type of explorations with a sense of curiosity, knowing that we don't know anything. Knowing that we are there to explore, to observe, to learn, but also to connect. And through this connection, maybe find a deeper sense of peace within us, maybe bring a deeper sense of peace to the place. So, this particular place, the Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá, is our first site that we're going to be visiting in Colombia. And there will be many more that we're going to start when we start the remote expedition in Colombia. Well, without further ado, I'm going to guide us through a meditation to get into a state of alignment and into a state of synchronicity and connection between everyone around the world that's joining today. And after that, we're going to project our consciousness as a group to that particular salt cathedral. And we're going to start in this connection to explore what the frequency is like. And I'm already starting to feel the buildup of the energy and us entering into this meditative state. So let's start with that. I invite you all to take a couple of deep breaths. Just to become present in our bodies. Clearing any thoughts, clearing any emotions, allowing the breath to lead the way. Deep breaths calm the nervous system. And relax the body. And start to feel the connection below, the gravity of this earth, the bond that we hold, the connection we have with the core of the earth. A sacred exchange occurs. We receive an energy and we release an energy constantly, continuously. The earth provides for us. And we bring our focus to the top of our head, our crown, and our connection to the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, the universe at large. And even here, we feel the connection, the bond we have with all of existence, with the powers from above. And our breath delivers the sacred exchange of energy from above and from below. And we start to feel into everyone that has joined here today from across the world, the collective field that we create. A synchronized, high frequency field of connection, of presence. And in this field that we create, we support each other. We are supported as much as we support. We deepen our breath and we strengthen this energetic field that we have created together. And slowly together, this connected field that we have created, we project towards the country of Colombia, and we remain in altitude above Colombia. We observe Colombia from above. The beauty of the various landscapes, the mountains, the forests, the rivers, the cities, the lakes. And we come with peace in our hearts. Slowly, we descend to the area north of Bogota, the capital of Colombia, where this salt mine, this mountain that carries the salt minerals, has been home to the salt cathedral of Zipaquirá. And as a group field, we start to connect to enter this mountain, to enter this cathedral underground. There is a beauty in the silence provided by the rocks and the minerals, an energetic frequency that is held as a result of it being underground and surrounded by mineral. The many prayers that have come through here and the energy line that connects through here. And we remain in deep presence. We observe the qualities of this energy, the qualities of this place. We are protected in this energetic field as we have entered together. And we extend the connection that we hold and the frequency that we bring as our gift for any energetic adjustment, any increase and deeper alignment of this sacred site that is required. And as each of you provide your alignment as your gift, The guides provide their energetic adjustments as a gift to the site. A deepening of the connections extending from the site across Colombia, across the world, is occurring. An influx of new energy activating the site itself to an even higher frequency. Observe, witness, and receive. Let yourself be purified, cleansed, and recharged by the energy that moves through this sacred site. Greetings. We are Elohim. Many sacred sites in nature have been recognized as an important place to connect to spirit, to consciousness beyond one's own human experience in the physical form, to the energies that move through this earthly plane, through this material plane. Sites in nature therefore played an important role for humanity in many different ways. In this case, a site of worship, a site of requests for protection, for guidance, for deep prayers for one's self well being, for one's loved ones and families, communities, and for humanity. A place where prayers enter the spirit realm and where responses and answers are given. A place where the quiet and the frequency of the rock, the minerals, nature itself provides for the silence to be found within. For centuries, for millennia, humans have entered caves to find expanded states of consciousness, to find themselves, to find their connection to the divine. This is an opportunity for you to feel that search for the divine in all of humanity. No matter where you are, you can truly experience witness through the eyes of an individual who has entered this cathedral, this cave, this mine, this mountain. Extend your perception beyond this place, across the mountain, to many other sites in this country of Colombia. Extend your perception beyond this country to the neighboring countries, the regions around Colombia. An entry point into a network that serves humanity, that serves this earth and all of life. And take a couple of deep breaths to receive and integrate the reverence, the beauty of a place like this. A spiritual, energetic opening, a nodal point. Receive into all of your being And slowly we give gratitude. We give thanks that places like these around the world exist, and that we are served by the earth itself, by the infrastructures of this earth, and by the many stewards around this planet, protecting and preserving these sacred sites. This is your journey, an earth keeper, empowered to serve humanity, empowered to connect and remember your connection to these sacred sites, your connection to this earth, to remember the power that these sacred sites hold for humanity and all life on earth, for the evolution, for the ascension of humanity on earth. Thank you for your service. This transmission is complete. And slowly, as we complete this work at this site, we give thanks, and as a collective energetic field, we ascend into higher elevation above this hill, above this mountain, above this area. We give thanks to the site and to the country of Colombia for receiving us. And we take a couple of deep breaths. And return back into our own spaces across the planet, across the world, in your own homes, in your own rooms. You're bringing back some of this energy, the frequency, the beauty, and the gifts that were given, the sense of peace and calm. And you may continue to stay in this meditative state and continue to hold this frequency and deep breaths to integrate for as long as you need to. For those that want to return, whenever you're ready, you may start to open up your eyes, feeling grounded, feeling present, feeling aligned. Well done. Well done, friends. Our first sacred site in Guatemala. Many more sacred sites to go. Of course, Colombia. I was just in Guatemala, hence the slip. Very excited for the Colombian sites to be visited with all of you. As you can see, I'm still in the energy of it, and words are a little bit more complicated. But let's see how Crystal is doing. I'm curious how she experienced this. Hello, Crystal.
Hello, Asil.
How are you doing?
Doing really well. It was a really powerful energy, and I could feel, and I guess it was the amplification of the salt.
Mm-hmm.
Really feel the descent into the cathedral altogether, and like it felt like magnetically it was pulling us in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could feel the minerals as well, very strongly, like
Yeah,
the mineral content in the mountain itself
yeah.
and the frequency it can hold as a result of that. I mean, I can definitely see the call for people to go into caves to meditate and to reach higher states of
Mhm,
spirituality and
mhm,
expansion.
mhm,
This honestly, I felt like I was there, like literally there. I
mhm,
don't know
mhm.
how it was for you. Was it like visceral?
Yeah, it's interesting that you were talking about that you got confused about Guatemala because what came through to me was the first time I experienced caves was our expedition in Guatemala. And
Right.
I remembered that feeling that came back was the feeling that I think even the guides talked about is the seeking of silence and that level of um, silence and presence
Mhm,
that is available in caves. So yeah, I was feeling that, and I was also so I've had some sinus issues
mhm.
since being here in Guatemala, and I could feel the the tingling in my sinuses, like I was breathing in the salt. It was fascinating.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
it was reminding me of like people create they create salt caves on purpose,
That's
and
right.
in this case, it's like they mined the salt and then they were like, okay, what do we do with this
This
spot?
is probably pretty healing, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I thought it was really cool because I was like, wow, I don't have to go back to Miami and find a salt cave. I can just tap back into
Right.
this transition anytime I want and
That's right.
a little sinus upgrade.
That's fantastic. How's it
Uh,
been for everyone that's been watching? Do you have
hmm, let's see. They're saying I was contemplating what purpose of mineral and the purpose of the mineral, and the answer came in as a charge for the body or electric current.
Mhm.
Um, and somebody says it's exquisite yet deep magenta and clear diamond-like energy, protected,
Mhm.
safe. And, there's something about safety also that came up for me is and you mentioned as we were descending, we are protected in this energetic field, and and all we have to do is share the energy that we hold as a gift. It's like I can be of service in the world just by sharing my
Mhm.
alignment. And I don't have to do, like, my radiance is enough, and I don't have to get personally involved. Sharing the energy is what I do, and the rest takes care of
Mhm.
itself. And, some people may not believe that. That might be a stretch for some people. What would you say to that? For,
I would say, have you been ever in the presence of someone that just exudes pure light? They don't know anything about your story. They don't know anything about your life, your problems, and all of that. All they do is just exude pure presence and pure love and pure light. And being in the presence of such a being is an incredible gift. They don't need to fix my problems. It's just their pure, sheer existence is the gift alone. And I think
Mhm,
we can be these type of people. We don't
mhm,
have to fix, we don't have to change others. We can be that unwavering light, that unwavering love, and that unwavering peace for anyone.
mhm,
And I think
mhm,
that is what we can aspire towards, not just to look outside for those type of people and saints, but we can be these light bearers and these light houses in the world.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of corroboration for that in the chats. People are saying they deeply resonate with that. Um, yeah, this whole salt mineral thing. People
It
are
reminded me of
also.
something when you said about the
Yeah.
safety. I was in Bolivia, maybe
Hmm.
6, 7 years ago, and I went to the salt lake of
Hmm.
Uyuni. Maybe some of you know that place. It's, I think, the second largest salt lake in the world, and it's a fascinating place, like really incredible. And they have built these like salt hotels out of bricks that they made from the salt lake because it's such a thick layer of salt, right? They made all these like salt bricks and they built like these hotels. And I remember sleeping in that night in that place, and everything was super charged because of the salt content, right? It's not just salt as we know salt, but it's like it's a mixture of different types of elements, right? Including lithium and magnesium and whatnot, right? It's like a full
Hmm.
combination. And I remember lying in bed on this like salt brick bed, and well, we had also a mattress and a comforter and things, but I would put my hand across the the comforter, and there would be all these lightning strikes coming off my hand, and it was like this.
Wow.
Everything was so electrostatically charged in that place, and I remember sleeping in there wondering, like, how is this going to affect me? I wonder. But I felt pretty charged up when I woke up.
Did you have a deep sleep, or was it hard to sleep?
I think I had a deep. I don't remember exacts, but I think I had a deep sleep with lots of dreams.
Uh, Fascinating. And each site that we go to is so
It
different.
is.
So
It is.
is truly reveling in the uniqueness of this site. And then there's one thing that
I mean, a church and a
that
salt mine, Crystal. Like,
you were saying.
how often do you get to do that?
I mean, I can't remember the last time, and I've been around on this planet for a while. So yeah, it's pretty special.
Yes,
And I didn't even have to leave this table.
that's great. So that really just shows the potential and the power this remote work has.
Yeah.
And I know that some people
Yeah.
have preferences. Some people say they would rather be going there, and I like encourage you. Go if you can. Definitely visit as many sacred sites on this planet as you can to receive the beauties and the gifts, and also to see and learn. Because at heart, I'm an adventurer and explorer, right? but also
Yes.
for us to be able to learn and understand that our consciousness is an incredibly powerful tool with which we can train and practice to go to these sacred sites around the planet is
Mhm.
is definitely something that the guides want us to know about and want us to practice. So
Yes.
the remote expeditions are, in that sense, very important.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I know, so I just want to ask two more questions. And because what comes up is, we were in the meditation, you said in sharing, you also receive, right? There was opening yourself to receiving. And people may have a view of Colombia of being dark or dangerous, right? What would you say to people who may be fearful of like opening to receive the energy of a
Mhm.
site?
Well, I can tell you this much. I've been to places that were in active war. I've been to places
Hmm.
where people were like literally battling each other and fighting for survival. And I went to a sacred site within those places that was just emanating pure light. Of course, people were
Hmm.
bringing their traumas and their healing needs to these sacred sites, but they were active and operational, and I received so much from being there. So a country can be going through difficult times, and humanity or society can be going through difficult challenges in that country, but the sacred sites could be incredibly strongly operational with high vibrational energy. And I'm sure with the many, sacred site explorers that we have here and earth keepers we have here, I'm sure people have had similar experiences being in a place that seemingly was didn't feel great as in general senses or our judgment of it or our prejudice of it, but then going to a specific
Hmm.
site they felt the power and the beauty and the clear light of it.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like something that's coming to me is that our work in Colombia that starts next week is really going to bring to light the potency and the purity of the energy of Colombia, and I feel like it's part of our mission to change the view or give an alternative perspective for those people who
Mhm,
are, afraid of sites or have preconceived notions about the energies of a
mhm.
site. So, really looking forward to seeing what unfolds in this beautiful and sacred land in Colombia.
I'm excited about it. I really am. I
Mm.
think it's one of those countries that's been on our list for a while, and
Mhm.
we get to do it together, not just by
Yeah.
ourselves. I've gone to a
Mhm.
lot of countries and sacred sites by myself, as you know, Crystal, right? To be doing this with a community and with people around the world, and also feeling the amplified effect because there's so many joining. The more joined, like
Yes.
stronger it gets, the meditations get more powerful. And I truly believe also the work that we do at these sacred sites become more powerful as a result of more joining. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. And yeah, it's also a nice way to experience the work of our deeper training, which is earth keepers. So you don't have to be an earth keeper in service. You don't even have to be on the path in order to join us and experience the energies. But I'm also looking forward to that igniting and inspiring that uh, motivation for people to go deeper with
Yes.
us.
I think
Yeah.
it's very inspiring work. It's very fascinating work. And
Yeah.
you know, being an earth keeper just means you're formalizing your training in this type of work and not just going along to experience it. Whatever
Hmm.
comes up, but really like formalizing and structuring a way of interacting with sacred sites.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you for joining us. I know you're in between time zones and dimensions and layovers and all of that. So I appreciate you touching in to kick off the Colombia Remote Expedition and give us a sense of what's to come. So
I'm
thank you for
excited
that.
for it. Thank you, Crystal.
We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining this attunement today. If you feel inspired to continue the journey with us, there is still time to sign up for the Colombia Remote Expedition. This is an 8-day expedition that will be held live. However, by joining the remote expedition, you will have access to these site activations to enjoy again and again on your own time. Also, it's worth reminding you that this expedition is 100% remote, which means you are participating from the comfort of your own home or wherever it is that you're participating. You'll contribute your unique frequency to the collective field and be part of the global community united in purpose. We are offering a 25% discount to join the remote expedition for the next 48 hours. This discount is going to be valid until Thursday, May 21st, and we'll put the link to sign up and the coupon code in the chat for you now. So we hope to see you and feel you there. And if you're feeling the urge for an in-person adventure, we have the last spots available for our in-person Peru expedition. So far, there are 20 of us gathering in Peru's Sacred Valley this October to explore the wonders of the area, including Machu Picchu, one of the official 7 wonders of the world. And we'll put the sign-up link in the chat for you now as well. Be gentle with yourself over the next couple of hours if you can. If possible, create space to be with yourself or get the most out of this experience by journaling. If you're required to move back into your day, try to bring the energy of Catedral de Sal with you as you interact with the world. Thank you for joining us and for contributing your time and your beautiful presence. Take care, and we'll see you next week.